Welcome back, everyone, to round 2 of the Green Mountain Championship. Today we're going to be on Fox Run. My name is Paige Pierce.
I'm Missy Gannon.
And this course is very different than Brewster Ridge that you guys saw in round 1. We're going to be throwing pretty much in the wide open, but with lots of OB string and lots of elevation change.
Yeah, and you can definitely feel the wind more out on this course, being more wide open. And, having to keep it inbounds is the number one objective out here. And so the wind definitely adds that element of difficulty.
Yeah, so we'll see if Sarah can keep her lead. She's sitting at 4 under. Hailey King close behind at 3 under. And then I'm at even par.
Yeah, along with Kona Panis at even par as well.
Yeah, Kona's also at even.
Hole 1 is 600 feet, par 4, OB off the tee, right in front of you. So you have to clear this OB and land right about here would be an ideal approach to the green, which does bend slightly off to the right, and then the OB pinches pretty close around the basket, almost right around circle's edge. So you need to be pinpoint accurate on this upshot. And yeah, it's I think it was like a tail crosswind at this point, coming over the right shoulder, if I remember correctly.
Out of her 8 tournaments this year, she has finished in the top 5 7 times.
Put 5s, start the round off.
She had 90 career wins. Sponsored by MVP Discs. Let's hear it for Sarah Hokom.
We got Sarah Holcomb, who is defending her last year's title here at the Green Mountain Championship. Looks like she's lining up with her relay on this hole.
Yeah, so she'll have a couple of options from there. A little short, so she will have to pick a gap between those trees.
But the sidearm shapes nicely coming into the green. The way that the second shot is downhill from right to left, it kind of pulls the backhand hyzer towards that OB. So she's actually in a better spot being a sidearm dominant player.
Hailey turns this one over a little bit. There is OB on that side. Yeah, unfortunately, she did find that right OB.
Yeah, so you have the option when throwing an OBT shot to play it where it went out or to play from the drop zone. There are 2 options on this hole. Kona with a beautiful drive over towards the right side, looking for that late hyzer finish. And that's good position.
Yeah, if you can beat one of those early trees and just kind of set yourself up in the middle of those, it feels a little bit easier, but it's still a difficult approach. You're kind of riding that similar line, just a little bit straighter.
Yeah, a little late out of my hand. I was happy to see the hyzer finish there. Going to be close to Kona, but a little more pinched on the right side. Now Hailey opts for the drop zone play, and she needs that to sit. That OB was blind around the corner from her view. We do get the green flag, though, and see that she is safe.
Nice. Maybe just a little bit low. You definitely have to push that ceiling to get all the way to the basket, but she'll be set up for an approach on her 3rd.
And this is Kona with a mid-range. This was awesome to see the controlled distance with the stability. It's easy to flip a mid-range over when you're trying to throw it back sidearm like that. Beautiful touch and power. This is a Raptor for me. Just trying to get that stable finish around the corner and hopefully a skip. Both Kona and I are sitting at about 25, 28 feet.
Long bid from Hailey, wow.
And she was safe. She was safe by, a couple inches. Holcomb now for birdie. Can't quite get it there, so she'll settle with a par on this one.
All right. Feels good to start off with a birdie on this hole.
Now Kona with the new putt routine. This time of quarantine gave her some time to practice that, so it's good to see her starting off strong with a 28-footer for birdie.
Yeah.
And with that OB, Hailey will take a bogey and drop down to 2 under par.
And now hole 2, 250 feet, par 3, one of the shorter holes on this course, but it is a technical tight straight gap all the way, pretty much all the way to the basket. We're probably going to see some mid-ranges and putters because it does kind of slope away behind the basket, and there is OB long and to the right.
Kona with a severe hyzer flip. It just rides just right enough to find the center of the gap, and she's going to be deep of the basket, actually, almost OB, but she will be safe, looking at about a 34-footer back at the basket. This is my Crystal Fierce.
That's what you want to hear on this hole.
Yeah, it's a good noise to hear, knowing you don't have to putt. This one isn't, the basket itself isn't blind, but the landing area is blind, so you never know if you have a 10-footer or a 30-footer.
Yep.
Chances are Kona thinks that her shot is parked as well.
Right.
Holcomb couldn't quite get that backhand through the gap, so she's going to have to do a step-out shot there.
Hailey a little inside as well.
Great up shot from Sarah. Inside sneaky route.
Yeah.
And Hailey's kicked way over to the left, but it is actually pretty open from over there, so just puts a jump putt up into the circle.
All right, a long putt here. Oh.
Great bid, especially on that elevated basket.
Hailey left herself with some work to do, but we know her as a phenomenal putter. Makes good on that par.
Sarah also saves her par.
Finally get to your great birdie. Nice little short tap in. Go birdie birdie to start.
Yeah, it feels good.
And then hole 3, 300 feet, par 3, plays uphill pretty much the entire way and then drops off pretty severely behind the basket. There is a Mando on the right there that we just passed, so you have to go up this middle tunnel gap, and it's a very difficult and demanding tee shot, and you need to throw something that's going to get there, obviously, but you don't want to push it too long because there is OB long, and it's really easy to find that.
So I'm going with my soul here. This one, I'm just trying to put on a hyzer flip and just comes out a tiny bit late, kicks the tree, and I'm going to find that left side fairway. There actually is a pretty good gap over there, so I was pretty happy with that kick. Kona with a gorgeous hyzer flip. It's gliding right towards the basket.
Yeah, super fast green, you could see there. She's just slightly past pin high, I think inside the circle.
Yeah, and there's lots of trees to contend with down there on the putt, so you definitely are looking to come in a little bit slower than that and land on the short side of the green. Hokom's look gorgeous, but just a late tree kick finds her outside the circle short. That takes such a skilled shot to throw that sidearm on a flip up that turns left.
Yeah, especially with that OB all along the right side. It's a big commitment shot.
Hailey now with her Onyx. This is a fast disc, kind of similar to Kona's, so I'm curious. Oh.
Okay, unless a root slows you down and
Yeah.
checks up.
And I'm going sidearm with my jawbreaker zone here. Inside the circle, a little short, but it didn't roll down the hill, so I'm happy with that spot.
And you could see what a downhill putt this is, and that's the danger, to roll away a little bit. But it looks like she stopped, thankfully.
Kona couldn't quite get that one in. She, with the new Anheuser putt and the trees on the left side of her stance, that was going to be pretty difficult. It's a tiny bit high there from Sarah, but she made it sit, called it to sit. Tiny bit right out of my hand, and there is OB down where Gabe is, the catch cam, but I did stay safe, looking at about a 28-footer back up the hill. Outside the circle. Forgot.
Was it? Yeah.
I walked it off. It was 12 steps.
Hailey.
Wow, this is tucked.
Oh.
Great angle, Hailey. Just a tiny bit high. Wow. That was a great bid.
Yeah.
So a nice 3 putt there will bring me to a double bogey after starting birdie. Kona and Hailey will both take the pars. Now we are in for a very long walk over to hole 4's tee, which is the side with more wind. Quite a bit dramatic difference of wind over here. Wow, Jessica Weiss is starting off hot. 4 under through 6 holes.
Yeah, she birdied the first 4 I saw, so that's a great way to start.
And we got a few other people under par, but really the only score that's surprising to me in this moment is 4 through 6. Wow. You guys just saw the difficulty she got this hole too.
Yeah, so this one is a par 4, 470 feet. You kind of have a couple of different options. I think you'll see most of us try to land over in this right side sort of island here and then pitch up over this bridge, which is all over OB, to this slightly elevated basket. It's a beautiful green, but you can also try to just pump one up the straight gap off the tee. So we'll see what we got on this card. Yeah, it looks like Kona is going to that right side. The danger is just getting stuck in that middle bush, but it looks like Kona did a good job of navigating around that.
Yeah, that was with her MD3. Hailey with her Crystal Raptor. She's also just pitching up, but with the sidearm option.
Yep. Looks like we'll see a similar play from Sarah.
Yeah, this one, that's her Trace, which is quite a bit faster than Hailey's Raptor, but similar position.
Yeah.
She put quite a bit more hyzer on it. For me, I'm going for the green actually with this one. This is my Zeus. I practiced it this way and felt pretty confident. I'm trying to actually aim at Gabe, but the headwind keeps it over to the right and I get quite a bit more glide than I thought.
Wow.
And I'm going to find myself about 50 feet. I actually thought it was going to be out of bounds, but we got the green flag and I was very pleasantly surprised with that.
That is so far. I mean, even in a headwind, that just blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far if you finish left, but as it flipped to the right, I got a little bit nervous on
Yeah,
that.
because you probably lost vision of it
Yeah.
right away.
Hokom calling for it to get down. It does. She's going to be about 20 feet behind it. And Kona left hers just a little bit too far left. She's going to be outside the circle. Oh,
Ooh.
little backboard kiss from Hailey with her zone. She's going to be just inside 15.
Ooh. It's kind of nice being on that low side and giving it a more confident uphill run.
Yeah.
So you're what, about 50 feet? Oh. That's an eagle, folks.
Yeah, that one felt super solid. Good putt. Into a headwind, drive headwind, putt headwind. Felt really good to get that one.
Wow.
That'll erase that double bogey on the last hole, so.
Yeah, for real. And a great birdie from Sarah.
And from Hailey.
Yeah. And Kona will clean up a par.
Today, we'll be talking about the Nuke. The Nuke is a wide-rimmed, fast, maximum distance driver. When throwing on a wide-open course with the Nuke, I'm using it to unleash maximum backhand distance potential. Due to its slim profile and wide rim, the Nuke also fits really well in the hand when throwing sidearms. If I'm looking to throw down some boom sauce, I'm going with the Nuke. You can pick one up at DISCRAFT.com or your local disc golf retailer.
Hole 5, par 3, 475 feet. Plays really downhill. There's OB all along the right and the left side of the fairway. And then these middle trees that you have to navigate and get around. And just like the drone is flying through, this is the gap you're trying to hit. You might even see a few layups short and then pitch ups around those middle trees. But playing downhill, it does play a little shorter than 475.
I'm grabbing my most stable Zeus here, and I'm weighing the pros and cons of going for this basket, and I tell myself, just as long as you miss your target left, it's okay. If you miss right, you are basically re-teeing. So I'm never stoked about going OB, but it was nice that I at least get to take my mark from way down there. Hailey now with an onyx.
Keeping it a little lower, as long as it beats that last tree. I mean, she'll be great from there. She'll have an open approach to the basket. Still a daunting green with that hillside and the pond behind.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Holcomb says she hates this hole. It's her nemesis hole. She's just trying to keep it in bounds, and unfortunately just a little bit too high. But she'll get to take her mark pretty far up there. It's still, about a 200-foot approach towards water, though, and it's very, very scary.
Yeah, and at least she'll be on that right side, which is a little bit more open through that gap.
And I could tell Kona wanted that to come out a little bit later. She was trying to hit that gap low.
Nice.
But she gets
yeah.
through the trees.
Yep. You never know. Those sometimes grab you and kick you right down. So that was fortunate for sure.
Get up there.
All right, Hokom makes easy work of that very difficult approach there. Kona's using the body language. She wants that one to hyzer up, and it does.
Hailey just pitching up there. Not sure if she was thinking about running it, but she'll be set up for an easy par.
I put that stake right there.
A little bit high there. It was a headwind putt, so I decided to kind of putt it at the basket and see what happens. Kind of rose my putt. Holcomb will save her bogey. And now this is to save my bogey. Sweet camera angle.
Yeah,
Just
that's
showing you guys the beauty of this course.
Yeah,
The clouds are just endless, and the mountains, it's just so beautiful out here.
yeah, it was looking pretty yesterday for sure.
Right. And Kona and Hailey will take the pars and grab a stroke on both Sarah and I. We're into one of the shortest holes on the course.
Yeah, hole 6, only 270, par 3, OB on the right, OB on the left, also a little OB patch right around where we're passing right now that you're just trying to throw either a forehand or an anti-backhand that's going to slightly pan out at the end. Definitely a reachable hole, although it does play uphill, and the wind is pretty tail-ish right now.
Yeah, dropping Hailey's Onyx down a little bit, but she's definitely got the power to get it there. Beautiful shot.
Kona puts a little bit of turn on this and just sort of gets dropped down from the wind, unfortunately finding herself OB.
Yeah, and that was a sidewinder.
Oh.
She was deciding between a sidewinder and a road runner. I saw it on the tee pad and was thinking maybe a tiny bit too flippy for this wind, but
Thank you.
Yeah, and that was a textbook backhand, just a nice holding the turn. Was that a putter?
that was a soul.
Oh, soul.
Yeah,
Nice.
speed 4, understable with some glide. Hokom finds herself in a similar spot to Hailey. We'll all have some short putts for the birdie. And Kona gives that one a bid with her AVR X3. What a beautiful bid. She said she was running it too. Holcomb with the farthest birdie look. Can't quite get it up high enough to get over that rim.
Nice birdie from Hailey. Kona will walk away with a bogey, but there's plenty of golf left.
Thanks, Birdie. Thank you.
Yeah, we're coming into the hardest stretch of holes. It's 7, 8, 9. Pretty much known for adding out of bounds strokes to players' scorecards.
Absolutely. Speaking of
Yeah.
scorecards, the leaderboard check-in. Jess still holding strong. Hailey also, under par. We've got a lot of people just sort of lingering around even for the round right now, which is actually great out here in the conditions that we have. And then going into hole 7, like we said, one of those holes that can add up quickly, and definitely feels good to walk away with a par on this one. At 1,085 feet, it is a par 5 OB all along the right and left side. Sort of does like a funny little curve in the middle to give you a little bit of a nice wide landing zone on maybe your second shot. But yeah, the name of the game on this hole is just to keep it in bounds. And this tee shot, you kind of have a couple of different options. Hailey's opting for that big flex shot on the left side of that middle tree right there. to get as much distance as possible.
She does stay safe with her Zeus. She kind of clips some branches late in the flight, but she is going to be safe. And it was a pretty strong headwind, so I clubbed up to a more stable Zeus than I was going to throw. And very happy I did so, because even this one wanted to flip over.
Yeah. Yeah, you're also going big distance off the tee.
Oh, it was clean. Okay.
Nice.
Really?
Gets a little skip. I'm going to be pinched on the right side, but I'm so happy to see that green flag. Holcomb flipping up a sidearm, or trying to. It doesn't quite get to flat. And she's going to find herself hoping this guy gives her a green.
We'll see what that turned out to be. Kona looking like she's lining up more the hyzer route, which doesn't quite get you the same amount of distance, but it does feel a little more comfortable sometimes in this headwind.
So she stays safe, and she'll have a long attempt with her Emperor. She gets it down there a good ways, and it stays safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that right side is really difficult. You could see all of those low branches from those trees all along the right side. Definitely sets up well for the forehand. Backhand, it could keep sucking you into the right side really easily.
Hailey trying to get into that, we kind of call it the kidney bean, but just a little bit too much speed on that. She finds herself out of bounds. And I decided to go with a Big Z Fierce here, just trying to lay up and be aggressive on the third shot, which gives me more room. I've gone OB so many times on this hole in the past, and just did not want that to happen today.
There's third shot.
Nice wide shot there. She trusted that disc very well. Kona again with that Emperor. This is such a gorgeous flight. She just needed that one just a tiny bit farther left. And she's going to find herself, when we found the disc, it was actually almost pin high. She had all the distance to get there. Just
Wow.
tiny bit more left would have been an incredible shot. And this is a buzz from here, a little over 300 feet. Just trying to keep it a neutral disc low and not in the wind. I find myself just outside the circle.
Hailey looking to put this one close, just barely too understable. She'll be in a similar spot to Kona.
Sarah now chipping this sidearm into the green. And well thrown shot, pin high, about 15 right. Kona now has to keep this sidearm a little bit wide to keep it out from those branches. Comes in a little bit hot, and that'll be a tester, about 25 footer.
Hailey trying to put this one close.
A little low left there. I will settle for the par, but I'm pretty stoked about that. I stayed safe. Ooh, great putt from Kona.
Yeah, this hole actually played as the hardest hole on the course for our division, playing at 1.57 strokes over par. So definitely a great par to pick up.
Hailey going OB twice is going to find herself taking a double bogey and moving down to 2 under. So scores are getting tight now. We got 3 of us on this feature card at 2 under, and we saw Jessica Weiss's score Definitely shooting hot right now.
And hole 8, 570 feet, par 4, plays uphill the entire way. This fairway kind of snakes to the right and then back to the left, and then back to the right to the basket. So getting a good amount of distance off the tee and, trying to just keep it in bounds. There's OB all along the right and the left side. Again, it seems to be a common theme out here.
So this one came out just quite a bit too early.
Ooh.
Feel like I'm going to be OB, and it kind of kisses that stake just barely safe. Hokom with her trace. Doesn't quite get it all the way flexed out, but she's safe and she's in the middle, so that just makes her second shot quite a bit longer. Kona's trying to get a little more distance off this tee. Beautiful throw, just a little bit high and glides just barely too much out of bounds. That was her destroyer. Hailey with a Zeus on a similar line to Kona's, but a little bit wider. And it sits down just in time to stay safe.
Yeah, definitely made the correction there, hanging out a little bit wider. This OB pinches pretty close to the basket. So this second shot is far, and you need to be able to control it.
Holcomb, not quite enough distance, but it stays safe, and she does have a long look. For me, this is 325 feet. That T sign said it. I'm going with my soul here. It's got a nice late glide. And I'm going to have about a 15-foot birdie putt.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Hailey going with that Crystal Raptor sidearm, and she's calling for it to get up. She knew she threw it a little too short. She'll have an outside the circle look. Kona just a little scared of that right side OB. Puts a little too much hyzer on it, and she'll also have a tester close to the circle's edge.
Sarah from circle 2.
Oof. Oh, it's just a tiny bit too low.
Yeah, that was right on line.
A tiny bit too wide there. Just barely low.
Yeah, great birdie on this hole. It plays very far for our division.
And some par tap-ins. I think hole 9 is like one of the most picturesque holes too.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. You got the pond on the left. You have some beautiful trees and mountains in the background. So this hole, being par 3, 390 feet, does play downhill. There's OB on the left and right side. I'll say it probably every hole. And yeah, you're just trying to keep something slightly low and out of the wind and almost ride that middle to right side, and just try to land softly onto the green.
For me, yeah, I go soul. I'm trying to go on a hyzer flip up the left side. I know it's not going to stable out, so as long as I give it enough control, it'll just kind of glide down there. A little bit of a overpower there and gets a cut roll.
But you're in bounds.
Yeah, safe is good. Hokom going for that full flex sidearm, and she gets herself just outside the circle. This is a great shot.
Yeah. The way her disc flew was like perfect for the shape of the fairway.
Right. Hailey now opting for the backhand with her Onyx, trying to ride that tree line like you're talking about. Gets a couple skips and looks a little sketchy for a
Yeah.
minute, but it stays safe. And Kona now with her Roadrunner. She said this hole has been her nemesis in the past. It's going on a hyzer flip, and it's pushing right for a minute. Still gets that hyzer out. She is safe. Past pin high. Beautiful shot.
Lone Howl. Flip up. Rides the right side.
Oh.
And then came out left.
And Kona's telling me about Colton's ace during practice.
Oh,
Colton
nice.
aced this one.
That's a really cool ace.
Yeah, it is. Unforgettable. So I just lay up for a safe par. Hailey will definitely give this one a bid. A little more power needed there.
Sarah from just a few feet outside circle one. Again, right on line, just coming in a little bit short.
And now for a huge birdie.
Yeah.
Oh, nails it. Amazing.
Not your nemesis anymore.
It's good to take control.
Yeah.
You know, when you have those thoughts, you know your history, but you decide to write yourself a new,
New story.
yeah. All right, so the rest of us will clean up our pars. And that'll do it for the front nine. Thank you guys so much for watching. GKPRO killed it again. And I gotta say, good timing on the flyovers right after the grass was mowed. You guys checking out how good these fairways look? Thanks for having us on commentary. Make sure you guys subscribe. And we'll see you on the back nine of round 2. Coming soon.